The next moment unfolds near a cemetery outside Pokrovsk, where a Russian soldier is seen running in panic across the graves in broken pathways. He moves quickly toward a nearby open field, attempting to escape the area. From above, a Ukrainian drone rapidly closes the distance and intercepts his path. After the initial strike, the soldier appears injured and collapses onto the ground. Seconds later, another Ukrainian drone arrives overhead and releases a munition at the same position. In a final moment, the soldier raises a single finger toward the drone in a defiant gesture. The aircraft responds with another drop, disabling the position and ending the encounter under aerial observation.
So if you wouldn't mind speaking a little bit to drones, obviously you have some very unique experience. Tell us about what we're looking at here and some of the common ones you will encounter.
Yeah, so this is a pretty typical 7-inch FPV. These unloaded will go about 60 miles an hour on average, depending on the components that you use. These days we're seeing more 10 and 15-inch FPVs, but these would carry a pretty standard RPG-7 armor-penetrating warhead.
What's the speed that you're seeing on the 10 and 15-inch?
It's about the same, but their payload is a lot.
Oh, how terrifying.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long video, and if you plan on enduring to the end, you need to watch this video. At the end, I'll leave you some resources that you can reach out to maybe even the odds a little bit. But we're going to go back 10 years starting right now.
This is a video I put out at the beginning of the year, a long time ago. And you know what I was talking about? I was talking about slaughter bots a long time ago. And it's funny because every time you do something like this, it's a conspiracy theory. You're a nutter. You're a tinfoil hat wearing person. I explained to you back in January what these things were, what their intentions were, and how soon they were coming. And then, oddly enough, this occurs. Now that actual professors are mimicking the same thing that I've already told you almost a year ago, now people are paying attention. The sad part about this is they don't show this until it's too late. Do you know what I'm saying? I understand that these guys want everybody to get together and go over to their website and add your names to the list and all this stuff. Since when has adding our name to a list done one single solitary thing? These bots are the locust from the pit. It's pretty much all there is to it. And again, I can't help but notice that I told you about this a year ago. This is old news. I was talking about this before it was even on anybody's radar. Everything that I show you on this website or on this YouTube platform or in any of my videos or anything, it all goes right back to the scientific papers. I'm not pulling this stuff out of thin blue sky. I'm showing you patents. I'm showing you their intentions. I'm using their own words, and people don't seem to understand it until they finally see a professor or somebody wearing a white lab coat talking about it. You know what I mean? And it makes me sad. Are slaughter bots coming? Slaughter bots are here.
Customer pilots directed almost 3,000 precision strikes last year. We're super proud of it. It allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. It's a big deal. But we have something much bigger. Your kids probably have one of these, right? Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI. It's flying itself. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. The stochastic motion is an anti-sniper feature. Just like any mobile device these days, it has cameras and sensors, and just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. They used to say guns don't kill people, people do. Well, people don't. They get emotional, disobey orders, aim high. Let's watch the weapons make the decisions. Now, trust me, these were all bad guys. Now, that is an airstrike of surgical precision. It's one of a range of products. Trained as a team, they can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any countermeasure. They cannot be stopped. Now, I said this was big. Why? Because we are thinking big. Watch. A $25 million order now buys this. Enough to kill half a city, the bad half. Nuclear is obsolete. Take out your entire enemy, virtually risk-free. Just characterize him, release the swarm, and rest easy. These are available today. We have a distribution network taking orders from military, law enforcement, and specialist clients.
The nation is still recovering from yesterday's incident, which officials are describing as some kind of automated attack, which killed 11 U.S. senators at the Capitol building.
They flew in from everywhere but attacked just one side of the aisle. It was chaos. People were screaming.
You can see high windows, very small, precisely punctured to gain entry to the building.
What did you do for the victim?
I just did what I could for him. Things weren't even interested in me. They're just buzzing.
Government sources admit the intelligence community has no idea who perpetrated the attack, nor whether it was a state, group, or even a single individual.
So if we can't defend ourselves, then we strike back.
We are investing very heavily in classified defense projects.
We make it our deterrent like our nuclear deterrent. We stockpile in the millions, the billions.
At key facilities, the White House, the New York Stock Exchange, Wall Street.
Safe in their homes.
Well, we wish we had boots on the ground in every community in this country, but we don't. So our instructions, our suggestions are to stay in touch with you.
Ollie, hi. Hi, Ollie, honey. How's Edinburgh today? How are all your studies going, huh?
Good. Great.
Oh, great. Hey, aren't we doing a video call today?
I'm kind of with people, so...
Oh, well, come on, Oliver, put her on.
Oh, no, it's not like that. No, wait.
Oh, well, listen, I see some photos here with somebody, and I can see lots of likes, and what's that all about? Oh, wait a minute, here, and on your
mom, she's on the spy stuff in the military.
What? What is this video right here? Oh, no, I'm not going to click on that.
It's just this, human rights thing about oppression or whatever.
Honey, you're not going into politics, are you? I mean, no protest.
It's safe here, just like you said it would be.
Heavy traffic approaching the A720 this morning due to police...
Police are not saying this morning what prompted the alert.
Claim relaxing firearm legislation would be useless against the so-called slaughter bots.
Just to stay away from crowds. When indoors, keep windows covered with shutters.
Protect your family. Stay inside.
Can you hear me? Oliver, can you hear me? Listen to me.
I can hear it,
Authorities are still struggling to make sense of an attack on university campuses worldwide, which targeted some students and not others. The search for a motive is apparently turning to social media, and a video shared by the victims exposing corruption at the height.
But it's far from surprising. The weapons took away the expense, danger, and risk of waging war. And now we can't afford to challenge anyone, really. It's not even the smallest fringe group or a crank.
Who could have done this?
Anyone.
Dumb weapons drop where you point them. Smart weapons consume data. When you can find your enemy using data, even by a hashtag, you can target an evil ideology right where it starts.
The following moment unfolds along a dirt road where two Russian soldiers are seen riding an ATV across rough terrain. As the vehicle moves forward, it suddenly loses balance and both soldiers fall onto the ground beside the road. Within seconds, a Ukrainian drone appears overhead and begins closing the distance. Startled by the approaching aircraft, the two soldiers scramble toward a damaged civilian car nearby, using the wreck as temporary cover. As the drone continues to circle closer, they move anxiously around the vehicle, attempting to keep it between themselves and the aircraft. From above, the drone maintains steady tracking and follows their movements closely. The tense standoff continues as both soldiers repeatedly reposition in an effort to avoid exposure. Eventually, one of them begins to slow down, showing signs of exhaustion and losing coordination while moving around the car. At that moment, the drone adjusts its approach and commits to the strike.
If you can go out years ago and buy yourself a GPS-guided, heat-seeking, handheld drone for under $1,000, just imagine what they have. Just imagine what they have. This right here should be incredibly sobering to anybody watching this, because this is technology that is old. They're breaking out the AI on us right now. Exactly like myself, Nicholson 1968, so many other channels that were talking about this years before anybody knew what it was. It's already here. It's everywhere, and there's a reason for it.
We are live with Brett Hauer on the line from where police are now confirming a drive-by shooting at a polling station.
They're all in a line, shot in the head just where they stood. The whole line is dead.
The line is dead?
Looks like some voters had children with them. All spared, not even hurt.
Brett, local PD are saying a suspicious device may have been discovered. Could this be slaughter bots?
No parts on the ground. I can see I haven't heard any or heard of any airborne devices. I see police. I see some officers deploying camouflage masks right now. We're on the move. Police are interested in an abandoned vehicle. They're heavily camouflaged now. Wait, there's another vehicle, another vehicle across the street. They seem quite concerned about that. Look out! Look out! The cops are down, Aaron. This is devastating.
Reports continue to come in.
Yet another national security crisis for this administration.
Everybody was dancing, and then suddenly we heard horrible.
No. Killer robots marching down the street? That can't happen. These are professional munitions, and they aren't just going to fall into the hands of bad guys.
We're building really robust procedures.
Whole constellation of products at the trade show this year. This is an industry energized by last year's successes.
Devices apparently hunted down and killed soldiers who were regrouping after fleeing the battlefield.
Of course, they can't target kids in the street. They are hard-coded to target men in the battle space.
Well, surely you mean men and women.
Well, sure. Women can be added to the target profile.
Purely a military device for confronting military aggression. Nobody is endorsing civilian application.
What I think I found particularly disturbing was that a bomb would drop maybe on a crowded, tented area, and then the drones would come down and...
Please take your time. We're incredibly grateful that you're making the time to be here today, and I can only imagine just how it has impacted you and will continue to impact you. And I feel, because you can't unsee what you've seen, but being able to share that with us really helps us hold legislators particularly to account. So we do appreciate the time that you're making for us today. Thank you.
So the drones would come down and pick off civilians, children. And we had description after description. This is not, an occasional thing. This was day after day after day, operating on children who would say, I was lying on the ground after a bomb had dropped, and this quadcopter came down and hovered over me and shot me. And that's clearly a deliberate act, and it was a persistent act, persistent targeting of civilians day after day. We had 1 or 2 mass casualty.
What are you typically putting on those? Is it actual manufactured explosives or?
Yeah, so the Ukrainians are basically cannibalizing standard munitions and repackaging them so that they can be put on different drones. So we'll see everything from like traditional explosives to thermobarics to tannerite to everything that blows up.
Now, we're talking about FPVs here. When it comes to like your hovering munition, like Mavic drones, like is there a lot of drops still being done, or is it primarily FPV?
No, drops haven't been a thing for a while, partially because DJI is very easily jammable. They only operate on 2.4 and 5 gigahertz for the most part. So it's very easy to counter those with EW.
Okay, makes sense. Well, that sucks.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine waiting until like 30 meters with a shotgun?
Yeah.
Ah!
Second such autonomous assassination of leading scientists.
Big win for regional powers, as they hope to cripple their neighbor's nuclear program.
Se cree que el ataque fue llevado a cabo por Slotobots.
The design obstacles are dropping like dominoes. We are getting more lethal, more versatile, more affordable, so we can empower more customers.
Regime change without the $1 billion spend or the body bags.
A real lift to the smallest armies.
Legitimate armies, though?
Well, sure, but who are we to decide who they are?
All right, now we're going to cross the UN, where we're told the treaty has now been signed.
Generations before us thought that future wars would be fought with toxic chemicals and infectious germs. They thought our landscapes would be littered with unexploded landmines. And more recently, it seemed inevitable we were on a course to mass produce a new class of merciless, autonomous weapons which use algorithms to decide who to kill. We knew the dangers, but we thought we had no choice. Because we thought our enemies were too inhuman to respect innocent lives. We thought if we didn't, they would. But each time we feared the worst,
Drone! 12 o'clock! 12 o'clock!
That thing was coming out my direction fast. I'm kind of glad you didn't get it. Drone! Reloading! Good. You. Oh, that was. Woo! You saved my life, Mike.
I saved his life. So we've done a lot of shooting at this point on drones. I think we've learned some pretty good things. Now the shotguns definitely work. I would say this 5.56 drone round is it. I really can't argue against this thing. It just makes so much more sense. Please, gentlemen, you have a lot more experience than I do countering drones. Give me experiences.
As far as like just like user operation, right? So like you can delve into the obvious things like how comfortable it is not having a secondary primary on your body. It's a lot less stress. It's a lot easier, especially when you're bouncing around inside of a truck. If I had this 416 slapping me in the face, and it's hard. It makes your job harder to do. And the fact that I can reliably strike targets, like we had a 100% success rate.
Yeah.
And on the other side, behind the screen, behind the goggles, as a pilot, you guys have a much higher success rate against us than we do shooting drones out of the sky. And you see much more footage come out of drones impacting vehicles than you see the glory footage of people shooting drones out of the sky. And so the fact that we can come out here, we have I don't know if you've ever shot drones out of the back of a truck before.
Yeah.
So
I haven't.
Yeah. So we have me and you and a guy that has no experience shooting at drones, and we can have a 100% hit rate is incredible.
You heard the boys over at Garand Thumb. Apparently, a shotgun works okay, but a 5.56 with the drone killer round in it has a 100% effective rate on a FPV drone, which are cruising at 70 to 90 miles an hour, depending on what they're carrying. But I warned you about these swarm bots 10 years ago, and we're seeing them being used right now to terrifying effect. And the fact that Elon Musk's brother is invested in these, the fact that Donald Trump's son is invested in these, that should give you a big warning. And if you recall, the person that I had in the DOD that was sending me the information, Trump did authorize 30,000 and then another 30,000 hunter-killer drones for use in America. There's a reason for that. Do you see what I'm saying? Understand this, and understand this well. For whatever reason, Israel and America need to be destroyed at the same time in order for them to bring back their Mashiach on October 2nd, 2027. I don't understand all the semantics of it, but it is what it is. But here's what I found. If you're planning on enduring to the end, these are the sources that I found. You can look further or don't.
Time will tell on their power minds, making war just for fun, treating people just like pawns and chess. Wait till the judgment day comes. Yeah. Now in darkness, world stops turning. Ashes where the bodies burning. No more war pigs have the power. And as God has struck the hour, day of judgment, God is calling. On the knees, the war pigs crawling, begging mercies for the sins. Satan laughing spreads his wings. Oh Lord, yeah.